Welcome to Stock Therapy with Penny Queen. Today I have CEO Dave Jemmett of CISO Global. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Penny. It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure for me too, and it's been a while since we've gotten to talk, and I know that everybody is very excited to hear what's going on with the company, and I know that you've been working very hard lately. So I would love to just jump right into the news that you put out today.
Okay. Well, we're cleaning up our balance sheet. A lot of folks have questioned our balance sheet, where it is. We took care of the heavy debt. We got some friendly capital in. More importantly, the folks who have supported us the longest, one of our board members, one of our advisory members, have about $7.5 million in convertible debt. So that's on our books as debt. And so I talked to them, and we are creating a Series A preferred, and they're going to convert to it. So they'll get 10% interest. It's a dividend paid in cash or stock. And essentially, they get to take that and put it in an asset instead of a debt for them to be paid back. And we get to clean up our balance sheet, and there's no dilution to the shareholders. So it's a really easy way to clean it up. We don't have much debt left.
That is a brilliant move. I had to think about it quite a bit to really understand what's going on. But as it becomes preferred, right? That doesn't add to the pool of shares. So retail's not being diluted. Nobody's being diluted. It's in its own area. And then that debt, which so many people have said, but the balance sheet, yep, over and over again. And, there's only so many times you can say, yes, but it's friendly. Yes, but this takes all question off the table. It's no longer debt. And it's good for all parties involved. So brilliant move. Thank you.
No, that's our pleasure. But when I say friendly, we're talking almost like family member. So we knew that they would never execute. They haven't. They've pushed out. But this is a way for them to be in a senior position, no dilution, and essentially support the company at the same time. And it creates an asset for them to put in their portfolios. So they cannot sell the shares until there's a board agreement, and they don't expect to sell their shares anytime soon. They want to see the appreciation of the stock and be riding along with us with our success.
Yeah, that's a really good solution, and I don't even want to know how long you've been working on this. So
a while.
Yeah. Well, I know it's been a pretty busy few weeks. You've just had the FIG launch. You've got CAGI out there. How are things going inside the company?
Great. Morale's fantastic. We did give some stock options to some of the top performers, which helped because of that nasty 15-to-1 split. So they're pretty happy and excited. I would say the company's in the best position culturally than we've been in a while, because we had some bumps. We've come out of it, and people are really excited. They've been excited the whole time because of our industry and what they get to do every day. And we really depend on them to take care of the customers. And so it's been refreshing. Unfortunately, I've had my nose in the grindstone doing paperwork, making sure that corporate governance is there. And we're getting ready to file our second quarter. So lots of paperwork, but being involved with FIG and CAGI also, it's taken some time just because of the learning curve, but look forward to that relationship and many more to come.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. That I feel like everything's been leading up to this, and then it's been a pretty hectic few weeks. But I know on the for investors, it's been a quiet time, which is it's harrowing. So. Are you still in a blackout period?
Well, we move so fast, Penny, and we have now built up the momentum. So before we were in blackouts because we were buying a company every 2 to 3 weeks. And to kind of explain the blackout, because some folks don't understand in the retail space, the blackout is I have knowledge that no one else has, and it'll benefit the company. So if I actually go to buy stock, I benefit, right? That's kind of insider trading. So immediately after this has taken place, which it has, and the preferred shifts, does that help the company's balance sheet? Well, makes me in a blackout position. So we have immediately another transaction that will be taking place, and that will keep me in a blackout period again. But I will tell you, the stock is so cheap, insiders are asking to buy it, and we want to buy it. So we are considering several options. It's called a rights offering, which is just for our own shareholders, which will push out the shorts. And you can research what that is. And rights offering means that there's no warrants attached to it. And if they don't buy them, they just disappear. And so that's one of the things we're considering, enhancing our treasury, as some of the companies do. Some crypto companies have come to us and asked, could we use your technologies to protect our trading platform? And so it's been suggested to us, hey, you should do what some of the other folks are doing, but you'd be the first cybersecurity. So it's something we're considering, and we'll let the street know more about that. But it keeps deflation, inflation in play because it's monetary. It's almost like putting gold in the treasury. So we're trying to enhance and create value for our shareholders each and every day. And I think the next few things that we're doing with great advisors that are helping us through that will accomplish that. I mean, we're literally starting to take off and get into space.
All right. So, well, I'll take it back. Are you in a blackout? As a yes, no?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because I would love to buy the stock.
I would love you to buy the stock, but I also don't mind you being in a blackout because it seems to work out well for everyone. So a question that a lot of shareholders have been asking is if you have any progress on the investor relations side.
Yes, we have. We narrowed it down to 3, and we have finally come up with the top 2. We'll be announcing that next week.
Excellent. I think that's going to be a really good move for the company because, as we know, your shareholders are very committed to the company. As I think you saw the survey I did to see just how many shares people have locked up, and of course that's a fluid thing and it changes. But your shareholders are really committed to the company and to the mission, and I should say the vision. So bringing additional attention is going to be great. I'm very, very excited for that.
If just make sure and have them explain. So the borrow, they got to make sure they can't borrow, because if they have it in an open account, anybody can look and locate and borrow their shares, not once, twice, or 3 times. So it's really important for the folks who are dedicated to make sure those shares are not being able to be traded.
I absolutely agree. When I did the original survey, one of the questions that I asked people was whether or not they had locked their shares up to keep them from being lent out. And a lot of people had, and people who didn't understand what we were talking about, I actually sent them instructions because a lot of different brokerages just default to having your stuff lent out if you have a margin account. I don't think anybody does with a cash account unless you explicitly say so. But to get a teeny tiny percentage on your shares while somebody is using them to damage the share price of your company never really made any sense. So, all right. Well, this is a lot of news. I know people are eagerly anticipating Q2. What I've been saying, you can step in if you have any commentary you want to make on it, but I'm guessing you don't. I've been telling people that in my view, Q1 and Q2 should be similar to last year because all of Checklight is really a Q3. This rollout is Q3, what we're currently in. So I'm excited for Q2, but I'm really excited for Q3. No.
Yeah, most cyber companies, not just us, most cyber companies are slow in the beginning of the year because people are making the decisions. They make the decisions in the second quarter and then start to roll out. We really see a heavy increase in the fourth quarter in most cyber companies. What's really hurt some of our clients is the tariff wars. People just didn't understand it. And so the decisions were stalled, but we still will have a good quarter.
That's, when we talk about the services business, it's very robust. That's, I like a lot of pre-revenue companies, so it's almost confusing to me to see that there's just so much revenue already in the company, but that where you're growing is at high margin revenue. So that's what we all want to get our little fingers on. I can't wait for the close of the quarter and to see how how things are progressing. So, all right. Is there anything else you want to be telling shareholders now before I let you go?
No, just that I appreciate them and the people who are holding on and supporting it. It's retail keeping us over $1, even though the noise, you shut a lot of noise out, the volume's down. It means people are sticking in there and keeping their shares and supporting the stock. So I just want to thank everybody. I think a lot has to attribute to yourself and others that are putting the word out there. So thank you, and we appreciate you, and we'll try to keep enhancing the value of the shares.
All right. I'm excited to see it. Thank you for your time today, Dave.
Thank you.